What do you think is going to happen next? Oh, we'll have to go into Saudi Arabia. Oh, there'll have to be a draft because, you know, you're paying $8 a gallon if this continues. And the average yuppie will say, yep, draft our kids. We got to have cheap gas. Go occupy the whole Middle East. No one could have foreseen that what was then known as World War IV was beginning. That's right, strategists and historians call the Cold War World War III. This was World War IV, a strategic war caused by flare-ups and food price increases, first starting in the Middle East, North Africa, spreading to the rest of Africa, Latin America, Asia, Eastern Europe, and then to Russia, and on to China. Global rebellion then struck North America. But in North America, the security services maintained order. Then, after the time of crisis, the Global Directorate was established in the United Nations and NATO I-4 systems. Luckily, there had already been troop deployments in the United States and cross-security agreements so that foreign assets could be used to help return order to the United States after breakaway states led by right-wing terrorists refused to be part of the new global edict to turn in their firearms as part of a move to end the ongoing sectarian civil wars that had brought 9 years of carnage to the planet. $30 million immigrants demanded amnesty and free government health care. When they were refused, every major city in the Southwest was burned. UN forces backing up the minority majority are now taking control of the Southwest. These are just some of the different systems the Ford Foundation, Carnegie, all run by Rand and the Pentagon, have lovingly set up. Because you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Oh, the globalists have their plans within plans and counter plans. All right, I said I'd take your phone calls, didn't I? And I haven't even gotten to the biggest news of the day yet. But we will get into the economy. We will get into the Middle East situation. We will get into what Joel Skousen, who's got a really brilliant mind when it comes to this, believes is the globalists planning to elicit a strike against the United States. And I don't even think we have to, that the globalists, I say we, so we keep thinking of America as ours. No, we're captured muscle. If America's the right arm of the New World Order right now, China's the left arm. Who's the brain? We're not the brain running this thing. You don't get the spoils. A lot of Americans, a lot of good old boys will swagger up on the street and go, Alex, you know, I know we're corrupt, but this is how America does so well. Look how good we're doing. No, we were more wealthy per capita 50 years ago than we are now. We have fake wealth, debt wealth, bondage wealth today, and now that's coming to the end. You know, these effeminate men who think they're tough. You know what I mean? They're macho. But they're not even effeminate because it's an insult to women. They're like soft spiritually. You know, they always have this kind of candy, they have a word for it, candy, you know what, kind of just this little smirky, quirky clubhouse attitude like they know how to get things done and they're real smart. No, you're not real smart. You're not real smart. You let the country be sold out. You bought into propaganda that made you think you were smart, okay? It's not too late to get on your knees and throw up on yourself in disgust and get yourself together. Now, I don't know if this is going over some people's heads out there, but let me just get to the meat and potatoes briefly, and then we'll talk more about it with Skousen coming up. Signpost, and I'm not going to go over all the signposts. I mentioned them at the very start of the broadcast, but it's like I described when people go, I can't believe you predict all this with such precision. How are you doing it, Alex? Well, if I turn on my cable guide and I scroll through what's coming on and I tell my wife, hey, Smith Family Robinson's coming on, that might be something that's family worthy. We haven't let the kids watch TV in about 2 weeks because we know it's mind control. You want to let them watch that? And then it comes on at 7 o'clock. everybody doesn't just go, how did you know Smith family or Swiss family, whatever their name is, was going to come on? They're not all dumbfounded. It's the same thing. That's why I'm so frustrated. The Trilateral Commission laid out everything they were going to do. The CFR smirkingly did it with all their buzzwords and things. And we've read their reports on air. We've covered it. We've had their insiders on. We've read their autobiographies where they love to brag because they just write those things for each other. The globalists admit that, they write their autobiographies for each other. They write their quarterly reports for each other. Oh, you can read it if you want, but they have such disdain for you, they know you won't. That's how they communicate, is in these communiques. And then they'll write articles in Atlantic Monthly or something else about how much they love this autobiography or how much they love this idea of this historian, or they'll have little veiled statements about, gee, a new Oklahoma City would sure help shut down the states' rights movement. Sure worked in 95. And then they'll have 4 or 5 top strategists say that, just out there to the public. Yeah, we blew up Oklahoma City. We're tough. Sit down and shut up. You notice the other sheep don't even notice we're admitting we did this. Doesn't that scare all of you out there? We're murderers. Now sit down and shut up. See, it's a multi-leveled message. All of you that just heard me publicly say we carried out Oklahoma City, look at all the slugs. They know about March Madness. They know about their soccer game coming up. They value that over reality. Now, did you just hear us in a whole bunch of mainstream news say that we love terror attacks and how good they are for us? Sit down and shut up. Now, listen, kids, there's no such thing as government-sponsored or corporate-sponsored terror. Don't listen to those guys over there that tell you we're bad. We're going to take good care of you. Oh, man, sometimes you got to laugh at it all, don't you? And so on these signposts, you know what? I'll just go to calls now. And then when I get Skousen on, I'll do the signpost briefly in front of him and with everybody else, and then get his comment on it. I'll do the signpost then. But I will go ahead and read you the headline, though. Biggest bond fund in world dumps U.S. Treasury bonds today. Should we be alarmed that the biggest bond fund in the world has dumped all of their U.S. Treasury bonds? And here's the Bloomberg article. PIMCO's gross eliminates government debt from total return fund. January trade deficit jumps to $46.3 billion. Stocks open lower as unemployment claims rise, but I heard the economy was better last week. Jobs claims in the U.S. rose 26,000 last week to 397,000. Teachers and state employees could lose retirement benefits. Oh, but the government's your friend. You're going to run to the government and demand more taxes so you get your retirement fund that you paid into. And they've convinced the right-wing, mainline fluoride heads that you don't deserve your own retirement. The veterans are having their retirement stolen and their health care and their death benefits. Conservatives just can't even face that, though. Even though that's admitted, they won't even look at that. Because they got a fetish for taking people's retirements. They kind of think that's conservative. Ooh, you don't deserve it. Lazy worker. Yeah, shut down the unions. You know, so when they do it to the troops, so they have another little mind control fetish for it, they just go, I don't see that. I don't see them taking what they've got. Nope, not happening. Nope, not going on. But this is how it's going to work. You got the 80-plus million government or quasi-government employees or defense contractors on the government trough, and as all their goodies start getting cut, they're going to all go vote to take whatever the middle class has got left just for a couple more years of money to themselves. And then the globalists just completely move and leave the U.S. Then it's all over. Third world, everything's sucked dry. Instead of saying we don't owe the 1.5 or more quadrillion in made-up derivatives. See, you can take all the teachers health care. You could take all their retirement funds. You can take everybody's Social Security. You can take everything. You can take Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Keebler elves, the Loch Ness Monster. None of that even is in the equation to the 1.5 and growing quadrillion. And the 100 trillion Davos demanded, the private bankers told governments, in your people's names, give us 100 more trillion this year. We will then leverage it to another quadrillion. That's AP, Reuters, London Telegraph. A month ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Put it on screen for me, please. You're fighting over a few $100 billion. They got thousands of trillions. And they're going to come and take your pension funds. That's why they changed the federal laws 5 years ago to do it. We told you it was all coming, and it's what you want. And if this is what you want, this is what you get. In fact, can somebody Twitter me at twitter.com/RealAlexJones? Can somebody tell me it's a hip-hop, punk rock, kind of trance, techno, from some science fiction movie where a guy brings back a broken-up battle droid from the front lines of an apocalyptic future world, and he brings it home to his girlfriend as an art project, and it reactivates and kills everybody. It's kind of a B movie, but it's good. But it's got that song at the end of it when the robot's killing him, injecting him. But when it injects you with the deadly venom, it's got a nice function to make you have a nice, feel good while you're dying. And the music's playing. This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you get. Get. You're gonna get it. Gonna get it. Gonna get it. You like 50 million abortions? You're a cursed country. Because if you let them murder babies, they're gonna murder your bank account. If you let them murder babies and murder Iraqis, they're going to murder your crops. They're going to GMO them. They're going to take over the entire society. They're going to give you no quarter. When you give in morally to things, every evil is unleashed. Every evil person out there and their sick desires is turned loose on you. But you thought the devil in evil was a sexy red devil cheerleader in a miniskirt. That's how it was sold to you. And so you bit in. You bit in like a fish with that hook, with that big, plump, juicy worm. Oh, that looks tasty. Let me swim up there and get that. And I'm sitting here. I'm an old fish sitting there going, you don't want to bite on that. You don't want to bite on that. There's a really bad guy up there. They're like, there's nothing up top. There's nothing dangerous. This is the entire world. And then you watch one of the fish grab it and gets pulled up. I go, I told you, see that? They're up there. And the other fish goes, oh, shut up, conspiracy theorist. Shut up, whack job. Shut up. And there's all these steroided cop fish come swimming up. They're like, we like the guy that's up there on top. He feeds us stuff. There is actually something up there on top. And, because the fisherman sometimes on his dock throws out some fish food to get fish to come around. We like him. We work for him. Hey, look, there's another piece of food. They actually catch one of the big fat cop fish. The other cops go, oh, Bill will be fine. Actually, they're probably just being nice to him up there. We're like, no, cops. The guys that run this thing are not nice. We're like, how about we bite you? How about we chase you off? How about maybe we eat you, buddy? Don't you even try to tell us there's somebody bad up there. And don't think you're going to swim off away from the dock and be safe. When they're done catching all these fish, they're going to go catch you. We've got to stop acting like mindless fish, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, well, you can tell I had the flu, and I'm glad I had it and got rid of it on my own. Never had the flu for a week, though. Let me tell you, this was some rough stuff. But I am pretty much well now, and I am feeling really good right now. I think you could say crazed. I think you could say it's on, like Donkey Kong. So when we come back, Rachel, Mark, Josh, Yvonne, and Sam, I'll at least get to you. Yeah, the movie's Hardware. Well, then when you pull up the trailer for Hardware then, because it's like, this is what you want, this is what you get. This is what you want, this is what you get. Find the soundtrack for that. I want to use that as bumper music. And maybe we should make a music video with it. Wars, death, abortion, everything people think is cool. Well, you're going to get it then. All you soft people. who've never experienced anything hardcore, all of you that like Mazda Flame think evil is cool, you are going to get it now. Oh, don't worry. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You like Satan? You think it's powerful? Think darkness is cool? Well, we'll find out if you like it.